p.m. Good evening, everyone. The Board of Trustees of the Porte Independent School District is now convened from closed session. I wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present. Every student's success is our number one priority. As the Porte ISD Board of Trustees, we're here to set goals, adopt policy, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and communicate the district's vision and success to the community. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. School board meetings are open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. Audience participation is limited to the patron presentation portion of the meeting. Board members may not respond to the public comment section. These proceedings may be recorded, and I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking. Thank you for taking time this evening to join us and for your interest in the Porte Independent School District. At this time, will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge to the United States flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, Texas flag. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Invocation tonight will be given by Ms. Deanne Thompson, Board Vice President.
Bow your heads, please. Father and Creator of us all, in honor of Labor Day yesterday, we pray to you, the one who gives us strength to work, minds to envision, and hearts to persevere. Thank you for creating us with the ability to perform tasks, create things, and contribute ideas that benefit the world. Lord, only you know the needs of every person in this school district, and we ask that you richly bless each child in our LPISD family and every teacher who inspires them. Grant patience and wisdom to our district leaders that they may feel strengthened and encouraged as they carry out their work. And always, we lift up those in need of healing due to health crisis. Please heal them, Father, and give their caregivers and their healthcare workers the strength they need. Tonight, we say a special prayer for Chelsea Wheeler as we board members regrettably accept her resignation as we all miss her. Thank you, God, for loving us. Thank you for sending us your Son and for all you've blessed us with. In all things and in all ways, let us praise you. Amen.
Okay, we go now to item 5, public comments. You may be seated. The board would
Comments, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. The board will now hear those who wish to make comments and have completed and returned the public comment participation request. This section will be conducted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act and board policy. Complaints and concerns for which other resolution channels are provided shall be directed through those channels. Ms. Thompson, are there any?
No, sir, there sure weren't.
Okay, and so now, board, if you don't mind, I'd like to move item 9, which is the action item, 9A, and if we could move that to the front, please. 9A.
Yes, sir.
Are there any objections from the board moving 9A to the front? Okay. So we're going to action item 9A, receive and accept the resignation of Board Trustee Chelsea Wheeler. I need a motion.
So moved.
Okay, Ms. Thompson made a motion, seconded by Mr. Shoppy. Call for the vote. Okay, thank you. And so now we will go to, actually, if you don't mind, board, if we will step to the front of the die, we have a special honor for Ms. Wheeler, and also we'll do our student recognitions as well. So if you join me in front of the die. Ms. Wheeler, I believe you're listening. On behalf of the school district and the Board of Trustees, we'd like to honor you, Ms. Wheeler, for your 17 and a half years of service and for your countless years of volunteerism. We have here a certificate of appreciation presented for you in recognition of your years of service. And we also have, also give to you a Bulldog Award for your volunteerism. And you also have countless cards, one's from College Park, another one's from Rizzuto.
There's just
A whole bunch of boxes from everyone from around the district. So I wanted to first of all congratulate and thank you for your service. And I'd like to open up to any of the board that would like to make any comments in honor of Ms. Wheeler.
Oh, no pressure. I like to talk, but this one's tough. I've known Chauncey before I could walk, right? And so it's one of those things is growing up you don't appreciate until you're older. And being involved in different organizations, specifically the Education Foundation, the Rotary Club, school district, all these different things, Chauncey was always around. She's still always around. And she just set such a godly woman example of being a servant leader and in so many different ways. And it's hard for me to talk about it, but she's been an absolute blessing, a mentor, someone that I look up to, and she leaves some very, very good shoes to fill. So it is definitely a sad day for me and for this board, I know. But Chauncey, we love you and we appreciate all that you've done and the legacy you've left here in LaPorte. And I just hope that we can continue your work of really trying to build up this district and supporting our kids. And thank you.
Miss Wheeler's husband was my dentist.
You still have your teeth?
Yeah, I still got them. They're originals. So, met her when I was in grade school. Then, when I came to work here at the district in 2003, met her once again. And she's been a driving force here ever since I can remember. So, any way we can honor her is quite a blessing.
I'm a little emotional this evening, so I'm not gonna say much or echo everything everyone else said, but I think Chauncey was definitely the epitome of what a bulldog really is, and that kind of spirit, and truly one of those people that you look at where it's service above self, for sure.
Hey, that's me. I didn't know Miss Wheeler as well as most everybody did. She knew my family real well, but I was really young at the time. I've known her for seeing her at the parades and doing all that kind of good stuff for the city of LaPorte. I just wish, and I hope, I wish I could have got to meet her a little bit more and been around her a little bit more. And Chauncey, good luck and everything, and I wish I can be, and I hope I can be the best board member just like you were.
And Ms. Wheeler, thank you again for your service. It was an honor and privilege to serve with you.
Chauncey asked me to say a few words for her, and before I do that, I will tell you that she and I have been friends for just shy of 50 years. Many of you have known her maybe as long as I have, but a lot of you don't know that Chauncey Wheeler was a young mother with two little toddlers when she came to LaPorte. Didn't know a soul. They came and scoped it out, decided that's where they wanted their business. And the first thing she did is she decided that she was going to start decorating the lockers in the doghouse, that the boys needed it. Now, you may hear that there is someone else in town who started that. Not true. It was Chauncey Wheeler and her two little baby kids that started that. That was her first endeavor into the community, and she made sure every Friday that locker room was top notch. She was in the foundation. She was in the inaugural opening of the foundation. She's everywhere. But to me, for me personally, she's been another sister. She's been another mother. There's not another person that I can think of that I've ever known in this community or anywhere else She truly loves the people, loves the community, loves the school district, and it was never, ever for 5 seconds about herself. She didn't care if she got recognition. She didn't do it for recognition. She wasn't trying to build a resume. She did it because she loves this community so much. And you may have noticed that when we voted, I abstained. And the reason for that is because she and I talked about it a lot. We knew when all this started that it was going to come down to this Sunday. And when she decided, it was worse for me than it was for her. And, but nobody has done more service. I mean, there is no other servant person that I know that could do more than Charlsie has done. And she's done it all out of love. She's going to be incredibly missed. There'll never be another person on this board to serve that'll ever be like her. But she did it because she loves all of you, all of the kids, everybody, and she wants you to know that. And I could not vote to accept her resignation. She didn't want to give it. She never wanted to give it. So just know that she is going to miss every one of you and this district more than you will ever know. And she did it out of love, and I hope that everybody will remember that no matter how well you know her. It's always been about love for Charlsie.
That's everybody, so I guess, we'll make sure we get all the stuff to the family, so.
I didn't want to come after you, Kathy. I was going to try to go before you.
No.
Charlsie hired me. She voted to hire me with the rest of the board here, many of the board members here. But, and I've gotten to know her well. I know that's hard to believe, but we text, and I've been to her home several occasions. And I remember in my interviews, she asked some of the hardest questions. And I remember Kathy speaking on her behalf, but she would ask some really tough questions because she cared about this school district. And so if she can hear me, if you can hear me, Charlsie, we're going to continue to be friends, and we're going to continue to lift you up and keep you close to our hearts in prayer.
And to be a little light about that, the first thing she asked him was, "Where are you going to live?" She wanted him in LaPorte. And how long are you going to stay?
That's right.
And then the next time it was, "Now, how long did you say you were going to stay?"
Tough question. So at this time, Mr. President, we will ask, I believe, Mr. Grammer to come. We have some student recognitions. Let's give Ms. Wheeler a hand.
All right, it's always a great honor to do what we're doing tonight, and each year we've come to you, since I've been here, to recognize our AP scholars, and so this year we had 27 students who received that honor. We're trying to increase those numbers, and we keep going up, and we're really proud of these students. These students do great things. If you're not familiar with AP, advanced placement courses are college-level courses that you have to score a 3 or better on, and you get college credit. It's probably the most rigorous courses you'll have in high school, that and IB courses, and even beyond dual credit type courses. These are very tough, and we're very proud of these students and their performance. And so, not all of them could be here tonight. Some of these students have already graduated, and some who graduated have shown up, and we appreciate that. And you can tell where they're going to school.
Good choice.
So, we're proud that they're here. So, and then of course we had tennis tonight, we had volleyball tonight, and so not everyone's able to make it, but we certainly want to recognize everyone, and those that are here, we want you to come up. So, if you would, when I call your name, is it okay if I just stand in front of you guys?
Sure, yeah, we'll go back here, make it easier for them.
So we're going to begin with our students who received AP seminar and research certificates for receiving scores of 3 or higher in AP seminar and AP research. Now, all 3 of these students are graduates because those are senior level courses, but I'd like to recognize Courtney Davis, Abigail O'Neill, and Megan Walters. Please give them a Next, we have 8 current students and 9 graduates who were named AP Scholars for receiving scores of 3 or higher on 3 or more AP exams. Students who are AP Scholars include juniors, now this is where they were last year, Jordan Kidley, Jenna Leslie, as I call your name, if you just come on up if you're here, Jorge Venegas Mendeville, Timothy Copeland, Luis Fuentes, Carly McCarthy, Caleb Urbano, and Victor Zapata. Scholar designation are Tristan Bland, Alan Botego, Charles C. Hall, Nicholas Murphy, Lakin Osmus, Riley Sander, Joseph Sheffield, Megan Walters, and Kylie Wyatt. All right. Next, we want to recognize our students who received AP Scholar with honor recognition. Sarah Agnani, Anthony Zambrano, Isabella Balboa, and Courtney Davis. AP Scholars with honor are those who received an average score of at least 3.25 on all AP exams taken and scores of 3 or higher on 4 or more of these exams. And then finally, we want to recognize our AP Scholars with distinction. These students scored at least 3.5 on all AP exams taken and had scores of 3 or higher on 5 or more of these exams. These students are Charles Hines, Lily Wynn, Anthony Sommer, and that's all of those, and this was the second year that Charles, Lily, and Anthony earned this designation. Once again, we're very proud of these students. They're outstanding young students, and they're going to be great college students. We know that, and we're excited for their last year here at the high school, those who are still with us. And those who've already moved on to college, we wish you the absolute best. All those schools are lucky to have you, so we appreciate you.
Mr. Grammer?
I'm gonna get in.
I didn't answer a single question.
This is your cue.
What do you say? I didn't answer a single question. I see you there.
Okay, we're going to item 7, administrative reports. Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good evening, everybody, members of the board. The Porte ISD has had a relatively smooth first 3 weeks of school, and our teachers are supporting and facilitating the imaginations and the work habits of our students. And the students are developing their skills at being innovative and inquisitive learners. September is Literacy Awareness Month, and we in LaPorte promote and celebrate literacy for all ages, and we certainly want to promote that throughout our school district. Classrooms are filling up, and we have had a significant number of students, certainly more than we had anticipated this time last year, return. And so enrollment numbers are moving in the right direction, and we're very excited about that. As enrollment continues to climb, I shall share with the board, and students are returning to learning, we are doing everything in our power to welcome them back and help them in accelerating the learning opportunities from all of the learning that has been missed over the past few months. A special thank you to our principals, our registrars, and attendance clerks at the campus and district level for reaching out to students who, for various reasons, were a little more reluctant to attend school, but our registrars have done an outstanding job. Our attendance clerks and principals and teachers and everyone has done an outstanding job of helping to reach out to students and encourage them to return. This coming Saturday, we will host a reach out to students who have not yet returned back to our schools. And certainly this number is not a very large number, but we want to take the time to welcome and encourage all of our students that should be back in school to come back to school and be successful. This reach out event will consist of principals, teachers, counselors, and central office staff who will in turn visit the homes of specific students who have been deemed a no-show for school this year. Again, this number is not a very large number, but we certainly want to take some time on the weekend and go visit those families and those students and encourage them to come back. We aim to reach out and visit with parents and students and welcome them back to LaPorte ISD. Last week marked the end of the second 30-day special session of the 87th legislative session. During the last session, a Senate bill was passed which will eventually provide some much needed funding, to schools to offer some type of virtual learning options for students who may wish to participate in a virtual learning plan. We do not have all of the particulars of this bill as of yet. However, as the state legislators are still working through this bill to provide funding for districts, we hope to have a virtual learning option or options to share with the board at the October meeting. We believe it is important to share publicly that creating a virtual learning option during the school year will certainly bring forth many challenges, and I can see my principals kind of shaking their head. It will bring forth many challenges for us all, but we're going to do our absolute best to achieve this goal. It is important to note also that this Senate bill is designed to offer virtual learning to students. However, there are some major stipulations that have been provided by the legislators, not the school districts, that students will need to follow. Students who were not successful at last year's STAR EOC assessments or during online learning may not receive the opportunity to participate in the virtual learning plan. Some of that still needs to be worked through, and our committee that's working on that will be able to give the board certainly much more detailed information on that. Also, students whose grades were not satisfactory or students who had excessive absences may not be allowed to participate in this virtual learning option. So we're just trying to make certain that everyone begins to hear this information, but we're trying to do our absolute best to comply with the Senate bill that's on the books. Tonight, the board will hear a brief update on what specifically the LaPorte District is doing to do our best to mitigate the negative effects of COVID-19. While masks are certainly not mandated in our district, we continue to strongly encourage our students and staff to wear them as they are so inclined. COVID-19 seems like it is going to be around for the foreseeable future, and we will continue to work on developing ways to mitigate the effects of the disease on our campuses and within our community. Lastly, we want to publicly thank the board, our parents and stakeholders who have shown us tremendous grace and patience as we work through the challenges of offering quality transportation to our students each day. As we all know, the Porte ISD is facing many of the same challenges that other school districts in the greater Houston area are facing as it relates to filling vacancies of bus drivers and other key staff when they are out on protocol due to COVID-19 related issues. Our goal is to communicate with our stakeholders with transparency, and we appreciate everyone's support and patience as we navigate through these challenging times. Although we are in our second full year of learning with COVID, we remain dedicated to keeping our students and our staff as healthy and as safe as humanly possible, and our resolve is strong. As I visit campuses each week, I get great joy by seeing the interactions that our teachers have with our students, and more importantly, I get great joy by seeing the interactions that our students have with each other. A major concept of the American public education system rests upon, to some degree, on our ability to foster opportunities to develop students' social, emotional, and communication skills. I believe we accomplish this in no other place better than in the public schoolhouse. We're helping students to sharpen their skills, and we're helping students to become and to achieve the American dream that many of us have already begun to achieve. This will conclude my comments for this evening, Mr. President, if you have questions for me.
I don't, but I do like to add one thing. Board, concerning the reach out this Saturday, if you are interested, please you'd like to join as far as one of the teams, please.
Love to have you.
Yeah, please forward your interest to Dr. Jackson.
We'd love to have you.
Okay, and then, are there any questions for Dr. Jackson on that? Okay. Okay, we'll go to item B, softball and baseball field update.
Okay, I'm gonna be very, very quick. Contract took us a little bit longer because we ended up finding out we had to do it as a jock contract because it was not done in our typical normal way we do a CMR, construction manager at risk. So we had to separate some stuff, took a little bit longer. We got geotech going as fast as we could. Geotech came in. We knew what was at the softball field, baseball field. There was some issues that we normally get across our district when we've done construction. We got that all settled. They will be here on Thursday at 8 o'clock for a construction meeting and proceed at that time. So symmetry will be running there. January 1st is substantial completion. We moved it moves from the 23rd to the 1st. So that's all we lost on that. We're still close to that contract. Everything else stays the same. I've got 2 renderings for you. I got it blown up as big as I can. The baseball field pretty much looks the same. When we met with the coaches, they decided that, there's many Bulldogs, but there's not but one LaPorte in the state of Texas, so they decided to go with LaPorte around the halo. The LPs will be the batter circles. We also didn't make a circle because some of them all are not in the areas that the coaches feel are safe. We've done a lot of research where those circles are placed where a normal one by the design of the field and not where the players need to stand. So we put the LPs out there. We've got some circles that will be put out for baseball as we move forward. Can you show us where the LP is? I can't see. The LP is right. There's 2. There's one right here, one right here.
Okay,
And then the one in the
I
back.
see the one in the middle. I just couldn't see the
Yep.
little one.
Is the little ones in orange?
Yes, orange and white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're right outside. And those will move as it starts to get measured out. Those will get measured out.
The little dot.
Yeah, I blew it up as big as we did. Outfield stayed the same, terracotta infield, everything else is gonna go forward as we have. That's baseball. Softball, the halo in the back is too far. The numbers got down to about 2.5 feet around the halo, so we decided to go with LaPorte on one side, Bulldogs on the other. The LPs are here, just as they are. They'll change as we get it set for the players.
You mentioned it, Woody, on the previous slide, what was behind home plate?
LaPorte.
LaPorte.
Yes, sir. Most softball fields, this is their setup with the town and then mascot. Are there any questions
Anything?
You said, you mentioned something about the soil testing at the baseball field was similar to what you normally get. What does that mean
So,
for us ladies?
since as long as I've been here, that's 2 bonds, geotechs come in and it's off the charts one way or the other. Either we're in really good shape or they're wanting us to move 7 feet of soil, replace it, do things like that. So we had to work with the engineers a little bit. We're gonna use a little bit more lime. We're gonna go outside 5 feet at the baseball field, which is okay, because we've gotta replace the fence anyway. It's not gonna change anything. It gives us a little bit more area to protect us as we build, and it's what we've done on the football field, the tennis courts, the softball, what's sitting as a softball field now, and a couple other projects around the district.
Also, the problem that you were talking about with turf at the football field?
Turf at the football field, when it drains, bubbles up.
Yes,
Is that gonna happen here?
it should not. The football field when 3rd Street was finished and they connected it to Little Cedar Bayou, we had nowhere for the water to go.
So it flows underneath.
And once it holds itself, and once Little Cedar Bayou starts to go down, we lose the water at that point, and Texas Street starts to drain. It started when they finished 3rd Street. It's been like that ever since then.
Have we tried to contact the city to see what we can do?
I've had the city out, we have looked at, the only thing that we can do is cut the ditches, but we're still going to daylight. It's not gonna go anywhere. We can't put water anywhere. There's nowhere else to go. When they connected Little Cedar Bayou to 3rd Street, everything from Fairmont to 3rd Street goes into Little Cedar Bayou before we do the daylight. That's the only place we can go.
But these 2 fields won't have anything to do with that.
We'll flow back into the pond. Now, there is a possibility. I mean, you can get 10-foot surge, and yes, there's a possibility they can do that,
Right.
but it shouldn't. It should not. We're protected by the pad, and we're protected by the pond.
Baseball field, where are the pitcher's mounds at, practice
So,
mounds at? That's
so, I don't have the visitor side, you can see it's here, it actually sits out on here. The one on the top will be resurfaced, the original, and then the visitor side will be dirt for them when they go to go
Cages
only
are gonna
to.
stay in the same spot?
Yes, they'll just be, I think we only have 2 teams now that's not on turf, so Friendswood and Manville.
So this is a really silly question, but our opponents, once we have this new field, is there an understanding, an MOU or something, that this is the field we have and this is the type of
Yes, sir.
cleat we wear? Right?
Yes, sir.
Because I think it probably won't have.
Coach Thompson I can, let me answer it. So, when we spoke to the coaches and when we did the research on there, every college coach told us that we're gonna wear spikes. And that was their way. Well, for us to make this live out its lifespan, we're gonna go with molded. There is a new molded cleat. There's a 7 cleat that looks just like a spike. That's one of the options that we have. That's what we're gonna tell them that we can wear. It's not gonna be a full turf because we've run into that where we've been told by one school that we can't wear molded and that school's wearing molded. We've had that happen a couple times this past year, especially one of our close competitors. But molded or turf, either one of those, no spikes. No spikes on the mound, no spikes anywhere.
You're gonna keep a dirt mound somewhere just in case they go
Yes,
to a
that,
place?
the original visitor side is dirt.
Okay.
And it'll stay, it's a single mound, it's all by itself, we can cover it, take care of it. We're also, I know it's not in this picture, Coach Torres has asked for us to take some sod and put out so they can have kind of a little small dirt infield, and that won't be a problem. We're gonna set it about where the road ends now, where the turtleback sits. He'll have an extra space over there, and then they also have the practice field. They use quite a lot already.
And that's January 1st, barring any hurricane or anything else comes up?
January 1st has got some pretty good days built into it. I feel comfortable. Yes. I mean, anything can happen, but I feel comfortable with
I
it.
like the word Baltimore. Can't say that word.
Yes.
Don't say it.
Hurricane.
Don't say it. Quit saying it.
Now, remember, both softball bullpens will be turfed. You can see at the top, the only thing they're having to turf is the actual dirt. Everything else is already set. We won't change that. We've got a little bit of a DE out of that, so that was pretty good.
Dugout's gonna be done differently, or are they gonna be the same old dugouts?
Same.
Same.
Right now, yes, everything's the same.
And all the coaches were consulted on all these designs?
Well, head coaches,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. Coach Upshaw and Coach Torres.
Okay.
Actually, we met, I think we met probably 4 times by the time all this
Oh,
was
wow.
finished. Coach Thompson was in every one of those. Dr. Jackson was in those. They'll be here Thursday. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Corey.
We'll go to item C, COVID-19 update.
Good evening, everyone. Great to see you all. I just want to thank y'all for the opportunity to be able to share this update for the district. Just our responses that we continue to have for COVID-19 and a few updates. Just want to start by saying, as you all know, the priority is really the health and safety of our staff and our students and our community. And I know a lot of people are dealing with a rise in numbers and throughout the state and in our community. So with that in mind, I just wanted to provide you a few updates about our communication and throughout the district, mitigation strategies, some of our protocols, upcoming plans for supporting our staff, students, parents, and community through this pandemic. I'm going to put the and I know that you all know on our, and I'll go back to the home page here so that you know, this is one of our sliders here that you can click and get to the COVID-19 information. And we're always building and looking at how this can be most convenient for our parents and our community. And it's also, a lot of these resources are also in the parent portal. So this is today's update. It was updated today. And I just wanted to kind of talk to you about just our communication. It's important that you all know that we communicate daily, if not hourly, together. You know, our COVID-19 with Dr. Jackson, our principals, just to see how we can best make situations safer and just better environment for everyone here at the campuses as well as the departments. We do visit with our nurses and our coordinator of nurses just to kind of look to see what's happening. We talk to the health department, the epidemiologist is there. We know him by name, Mr. Joseph. He's very helpful, just to kind of run scenarios by him and just see what he's seeing throughout this region, and just different members of our COVID response team. One of the things, and Dr. Jackson mentioned it in his update, our messaging is that masks are strongly encouraged. We do understand they're not required. However, the CDC does continue to recommend that guidance for schools, particularly because people are in classrooms for extended periods of time for learning. And again, we're not requiring them, but they are strongly encouraged and highly recommended. Campus staff and our HR department and campus nurses are available to assist with cases and questions when they come to us. We really don't want people to have to wait for that guidance. Sometimes it's in the evenings and throughout the weekend. We just want to make sure that people feel the best that they can about their scenario that they're going through. Here's the website here. I wanted to show you one of the things, and I know you have scrolled through these things, but this frequently asked questions that we developed together. I think we get some good comments on this, but it's just a brief little overview of some of the things that we're doing in classrooms, the cafeterias, and so on. And I wanted to make sure you saw that. Also, our daily screeners for our students and staff are available here, just so people can know daily. We do require screenings before you enter in a campus or facility, and just so they'll remember, not only if you have any of the symptoms, but also if you are awaiting a test or if you've been exposed in a prolonged exposure at home. And those things are all available on the right-hand side here. Let's see what else I wanted to share with you. Employee and student process maps, those are just a specific guidance that tells exactly if you've had a prolonged exposure, what you need to do. And we updated those for this school year. Some slight changes, and I think we went over those in August. The employee health reporting form as well as the student, that's another piece of communication that we have. It's an online health report. It's confidential. The campus nurse sees it or we see it in HR just to know what your timelines are and to be able to provide that specific guidance to those involved. Notification letters are sent to parents and staff when there is at least one confirmed positive case on the campus. So we're doing that diligently. Our principals are really doing a great job with that in English and in Spanish. And so we make sure to communicate those things. We also are still communicating case reporting to TEA on a weekly basis, as well as to the health department on a daily basis when we have positive confirmed cases. And as you all probably know, the health department is the one that's doing contact tracing, so it is very important that we keep them updated on our cases. So if they have questions or they have concerns about something they're seeing as a pattern, they certainly contact us right away to ask questions. And the Kova Dashboard is here, and that's daily communication for our community or anyone who would like to see it. As a matter of fact, I was on several today just looking at other districts and where they are with their percentages, those who do publish a dashboard still. It does include all active student and staff cases. We did add our percentages just so it can be very clear as to what percentage total we are for our cases, for active cases, and you can see them here. Let's see what else. I did want to tell you that I did do quite a bit of research here for some of our local districts, and our percentages are similar, if not lower, than our surrounding districts. We hope that we'd have no cases, but I just wanted to make sure that, and I know you all are looking as well. But I will say, based on the numbers, the sheer numbers here, as well as the percentages, we have seen increase in cases this school year, as well as our community has, our region, and our state. Let's see. I'm going to give you some data here. Average new test confirmed positive cases, we range from 14 students approximately. That's about an average per day, about 3 staff members per day. But I will tell you that there are times like today we had 45 new cases today. So there were 37 student cases and 8 staff. And it's about how they range out for staff versus students oftentimes. And this is much higher than last spring. Last spring in April and May, we were in the single digit for active cases completely. But again, that's similar to other districts as well. Individuals on protocol, I'll give you some data about that. As of last week, and I think you all received this, Dr. Jackson in his update, there were, as of last week, 493 students were on protocol. So that's positive cases. Those might be prolonged exposure or symptomatic students. And then 20 staff members were on protocol. Again, that's a big difference. We obviously have a bigger student population, but I think we're trying to be careful and make sure we're doing what we can to come to work. That's what it appears. And I wanted to compare that to last year at the highest point, which was January 14th. We had 384 students on protocol versus the 493. And then approximately 12 staff members were on protocol versus 20. Mitigation. Let me just kind of go. Those are our resources here, on the dashboard. But as far as mitigation strategies, our campuses and our custodial staff, they're doing an outstanding job keeping our facilities clean and making sure that if disinfecting is needed, they're using the tools and resources that we have. I know Mr. Marler is keeping very current on some of those things that we make sure to use for disinfecting. And our teachers and our students are still doing where they're sanitizing between classes for the desks. District testing program, let me give you some information about that. That's going really well. This year, we have 189 tests that have been given to staff and students who have accessed the district testing program. And it's housed right behind Ms. Anderson's, the special programs building. Out of the 189 tests that have been given, 38 have been positive. So it's about 20% of the tests that are given have been positive, which mirrors Harris County's. It's falling at about 20% positivity rate. We do have a substitute registered nurse who's conducting the testing. She's organizing the appointments. She's actually administering the test, and she's keeping up with the housekeeping pieces, which is like completing reports and things like that we're required to do for TEA. It is a drive-up test. I don't know if you've seen it. It's even covered. No one has to get out. It's very convenient for our students and our parents. We do have to have written permission to do that for both staff and students. And so we've got really good feedback about that. We have plans to hire an additional substitute nurse to help because I was telling Dr. Jackson this morning, we're really at capacity for that. If we have 2 full-time people doing that, we can get in about 40 tests diligently, so it's about 20 for one person. But she's booking up. We're booked all the way through Thursday completely. So I'm glad to see our students and our staff are taking advantage of that opportunity.
Have we had people from the community try to show up and we have to tell them?
I have not heard that. They have asked, though, can they come? And, unfortunately, those materials, because of TEA, they're been designated just for
Okay.
that.
I just wondered how you're handling
I don't think it's been a problem so far. We do try to direct them if they ask us to different places where they can access testing. And just coming soon, just a couple of items there, and then I'm almost finished. We are excited to say that we're going to have a COVID-19 task force. Do we already have one? We absolutely do, but this is going to be a bigger committee that will meet to provide guidance and resources and answer questions and seek support from our community. We're planning to meet twice in the fall and twice in the spring, and the committee will consist of parents, school board members, our community, health team members from the Harris County Department of Health, Houston Methodist, some of our LaPorte staff, of course, administrators, nurses, teachers, paras, other staff that might be interested. So we're looking to get a date this month to hold our first meeting. And it'll be convenient for all. We'll do it after hours. Just in,
Let me
Yes,
just
sir.
add,
yes,
and thank you for sharing that.
oh, absolutely.
We want to have that community committee, because we want to make sure the community knows kind of what we're doing here as well. And there may be some health professionals out there that want to be able to give us some advice on some of those things. So
Those
we got that idea from someone here, and so we're trying to kind of make that happen. And so we ask those that want to be a part of that, take some time to be a part of that, okay?
We're excited. Just in closing, and I know you all know this, we're just seeking guidance daily from CDC, looking at TEA's public health guidance and just surrounding districts and best practices. We're also, again, seeking guidance from infectious disease doctors, just looking at their latest information. Our COVID response team is in constant communication, just thinking about how we can best support everyone and take care of our staff and students. And finally, I just want to say a special thank you to our campus principals, our nurses, and our registered nurse that's doing it full-time over there. Her name is Dory Spain, and she's a community member. She's heading up our district testing, and she's been phenomenal. And of course, our coordinator of nurses, Carrie Reif, and our HR team, that's just putting in countless hours to really dedicate to make sure we're meeting the needs of everybody. But that's really my update. I just appreciate y'all's time. Thank you so much for letting us update you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Board?
I don't have a question, but I would like to say, so not to be cheesy about it, but I think I told you guys last time, of all the titles I have, I think I put the most emphasis on being a dad. As a dad, I think you and the team that you guys have in place, Dr. Jackson, the last meeting we said before school started, I could just feel the anxiety in the room. We had a lot of parents here.
We did.
Again, being a dad, like you hear all these stories. And again, not that it's ever going to be perfect, but I appreciate the job you guys are doing with, I can only imagine the burden that it is to have to extra clean and do all these things and the buses and all these things that we're dealing with right now. But as a parent, I feel safe sending my kids to school. When I send them in a mask, they're not getting ridiculed. We had that choice, and I appreciate you guys have given us that right as a parent to choose, and that you guys have been flexible, and it's a blessing from the Lord above. Again, any case is too many, but at 1.24%, I hate to say it, but I feel that's a blessing that number's not higher. So I know that's a testament to the job you guys are doing. So I just want to publicly say thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. All right, thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, we'll go to item 8, consent agenda. A, determine and approve any consent agenda items. B, approve board meeting minutes. Number 1, regular board meeting minutes, August 3rd, 2021. 2, special board meeting minutes, August 14th, 2021. C, receive principal reports. 1, Early Childhood Center. 2, Bayshore Elementary. 3, College Park Elementary. 4, Heritage Elementary. 5, Jenny Reed Elementary. 6, LaPorte Elementary. 7, Leo A. Rizzuto Elementary. 8, Lomax Elementary. 9, James H. Baker 6th grade campus. 10, LaPorte Junior High. 11, Lomax Junior High. 12, LaPorte High School. 13, Bill DeWalt High School. Do you mind pulling that collectively on item C?
Pull all of C.
Yeah, just collectively, yeah. 1 through 13 for me.
You should have said that first.
I'm sorry.
And I've listed it all down, so
My bad. D, receive financial reports for July 2021. E, receive human resources report. F, approve budget amendment. G, approve employment of professional staff. H, approve 2021 tax roll totals pursuant to the Texas Property Tax Code. I, approve interlocal agreement between LaPorte ISD and Region 4 Education Service Center, ESC4, for instructional products, contracted services, professional development, and information technology services. J, approve resale of tax foreclosure property described as Lot 6 and 7 in Block 87, a Bayfront addition to LaPorte, a subdivision in Harris County, Texas, as shown on the map or plat thereof, recorded in Volume 85, page 440 of the deed records of Harris County, Texas, HCAD account number 006-177-000-0006. K, approve second reading and adoption of TASB Local Policy Update 117 affecting local policy CH Local, CHE Local, CV Local, and DEC Local. L, adopt a resolution number 2021-16 for participation in the Educational Service Center, Region 20, PACE Purchasing Cooperative through an interlocal agreement. M, adopt a resolution number 2021-17 for provision of additional emergency paid sick leave for 2021-2022 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And adopt a resolution number 2021-18 to declare extracurricular status of 4-H and approve appointment of Harris County Extension agents as adjunct faculty for purposes of supervising LPISD students participating in designated 4-H activities. O, ratify TEA Connect Texas TACT interlocal acquisition agreement. Ms. Thompson, do you mind reading back the consent agenda?
Sure, we have B, 1 and 2, and then D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, and O.
Okay, board, seek a motion.
So moved.
Ms. Green,
Second?
Ms. Thompson seconded.
President, can we make a comment on one of
Sure.
them? So I just want to point out, on item M, the adoption resolution number 2021-17. For those of you who haven't read through that packet, I just want to again commend the school district. So that's a very, very big deal for all of our staff. I believe it's for salaried and non-salaried employees to get an additional 10 days of paid sick leave. And that is a huge blessing to anybody that may be affected with this COVID, right? With the federal government not guaranteeing that this year. So again, I imagine that would come at a major financial distress if we had to pay for every employee to be out in an extra 10 days. But I appreciate you guys putting that in and making that a possibility.
And if the board approves that, that was your doing.
Right.
Okay, any more comments or questions? Okay, we'll call for the vote. Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll go to item C, campus reports, and I just requested to pull this because number one, I wanted to give a shout out to all our principals and our faculty to every one of our campuses. I know after about 3 weeks, it may feel like a semester already with everything that you've had to be dealing with. I've been following a lot on your many of your Twitter accounts and Facebook pages, and seeing a lot of the wonderful, great learning that's going on in the classrooms in your buildings. And so I just wanted to give a shout out. Also, too, I want to single out Baker and Lomax Junior High. I've been following y'all's Facebook pages and watching all the great stuff. I know that's been a lot of effort, and for every principal as well, as far as your Twitter, putting everything, posting, and putting all the wonderful things out there for the community. I know that's not, it's just one added job onto the many things that you're doing during the school day as well. And so I appreciate each and every one of you for sticking it through as far as this difficult time period, and showing to the community what great learning is going on in each one of our buildings here in LaPorte ISD. And I just want to thank each and every one of you, and not to also forget everyone as far as the professional staff, and also everyone at the administration building as well, as far as y'all's hard work in dealing with several different cases and everything. I appreciate it. I know it's been only 3 weeks, but I know, like I said before, it feels like a semester, and I feel it too. And but I appreciate each and every one of you as well, and I thank y'all for all your hard work. And so, with that being said, we don't really need a vote on the campus reports, really, I don't think. And Chris, so we'll go ahead and go to, there's no action on closed session items. And so with that, we adjourn at 8:19 p.m.